because it's 8:30 and time for our high beam right now. And this morning we are welcoming in the Superintendent of New Philadelphia Schools, Amy Wentworth. Amy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you for having me this morning.
Oh, it's our pleasure. No question about that. And wanted to talk to you about what's happening at New Philly Schools. And I guess we start with you because you're new in this position of superintendent. Really a bit of a late-ish type appointment. You didn't have a lot of notice, I guess, ahead of time. So how did that all transpire, and how are you doing in your new office?
Yeah, it was kind of a late appointment. It didn't happen until midsummer here.
Mm-hmm.
So certainly a new role for me, but I'm not new to New Philly. I've been here since 2007, so I certainly have a lot of experience with the district, which helps.
Oh, yeah.
But we are up and running here. In addition to myself being in a new role, we actually have 13 other administrators that are also either new to the district or new in their roles. So the New Philly leadership team looks very different this year, and it's a great team. We are meshing together and collaborating well, and I think you're going to see good things from New Philadelphia this year.
That brings energy when you get a group of new people like that, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And boy, personalities are just clicking, and we've got some great ideas. But you can feel the difference in the tone. When we meet together, you can feel the difference in the district, and it's really exciting to be a part of that.
Well, laundry list everybody, but I know your new assistant principal is Jeffrey Williams, who you had worked with before, so is that working out as well as you'd hoped?
It's working out better than I had hoped. Yeah, Jeff, actually, I worked with him when I was principal, and he was a teacher, and I know him well. We already have that trust relationship established, and so we are just off and running. It's like we've worked together for years at this point already.
That's great. I first met him when he worked for the newspaper, so that's been a little while back. So, yeah, everything's going well. And tell me about some of the positive aspects of things that are going on. I know we're all still dealing with this latest variant of COVID, but you guys are kind of taking a proactive approach to that, aren't you?
We are, for sure. We have continued our enhanced cleaning and disinfecting protocols. We are consistently reminding parents and students to assess themselves for symptoms before they come to school. We don't want people coming to school if they're sick, quite frankly.
Right.
And certainly our school nurses are on top of monitoring things in the school. And we work closely with the health departments when they identify a positive case. We do the contact tracing and provide that information. So we're being very proactive. As of right now, we really aren't seeing spread that's happening in our schools. Now, having said that, we've only been back a week or so here. But we are tracking that closely and just making sure that we are very responsive to what that shows, what those numbers show. And right now, yes, it exists, but it's not spreading in schools, and that's an important thing to remember.
We want to just keep it right there, too. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Talking about classrooms in that vein, but in a different vein, there are some new things on the curriculum front. So what is different maybe now than in the past at New Philly?
This year, we are reviewing all of our math curriculum to make sure that it continues to be the best resource for our teachers to use to help our students learn what the state of Ohio says they need to learn. So we are doing a thorough kindergarten through 12th grade math review that is teacher-driven, and we're going to make sure at the end of this year that we come out knowing what is the best resource and that we have purchased that and put it into the hands of our teachers for next year. So that is a project that Mr. Jeff Williams is leading up and just getting off the ground, but I'm really excited because it's really important to me that our teachers have the tools that they need to do the best job that they can. And so we're working to make sure that we're going to make that happen.
And not that it's unique, but coming from the teaching background, you can certainly understand how that feels, right?
Absolutely. I know what it's like to not have resources, and I know what it's like to have up-to-date resource, and it feels very different. So I want to be very in tune to the needs of our staff. You know, the better we support our teachers, the better they can support our students. And ultimately, that's our goal, is to help our students be as successful as possible.
I was going to ask you, getting into the job, just now kind of jumping in with both feet, with school back in, have you gotten into a routine yet? But maybe it's a little early for that, do you think?
It feels a little early. I don't know if I ever feel ready for school to start. I always feel like there are 10 more things or 100 more things I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But it's going to get there. I know that it will. So, like I said, students have been back for a week. We're excited about that. Our kindergarten students are just today fully in session. So things should start settling into a routine at this point.
I sure hope so. Now, Friday night, we've got football, and it's the home opener. So that hopefully is going to bring the community out. Got a lot of seats at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium, and this year we're allowed to fill them all. So let's see what we can do about that, right?
Exactly. It's been very exciting to be able to offer our stadium at full capacity. We're able to offer our seniors their passes again this year for New Philadelphia residents, and we have just been flooded with people coming in and taking advantage of that. So I am looking forward to a full stadium where we can just really show that Quaker pride on Friday night.
Right. Not just football, but all the fall sports, but certainly football with a focus this Friday. And we're going to feature that game on our sister station, by the way, 95.9 The Light, if I can just throw that in there real quickly. So
awesome.
It'll be on the air. Speaking of the stadium, I know the city and the schools are trying to work out a final crossing the T's and dotting the I's on all of that about the school's use of the stadium and so forth, because that's on city property. And I guess you feel like that's pretty close to being concluded, is it not?
I would hope so. We certainly are hopeful for a solution. As a school district, we want to make sure that our kids have access to that facility and they are able to use it to do football and to do track and to do the other events. And I know that the city would like that as well. So I feel like, again, we both have the same goal, that we should be able to come to a solution on how we can do that best for our students and for our community as well.
One other thing I wanted to ask you, just to make sure, we had another superintendent in here 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks ago who said that he was no longer the best superintendent in his house, but that would be your husband, Ira, who's the superintendent at Indian Valley. So I wanted to give you a chance to comment on that.
Yeah, well, he's a great guy, and he's very flattering, but I think I still have to prove whether or not that's true, and at this point, he's been doing the job for 10 years, so I think he's got a leg up on me currently, but I'll catch him. I'm pretty confident in my ability to catch him, so we'll see where that goes.
But it must be nice to have that resource to bounce things off of.
It is. There are times when we say enough school talk, let's put that away for the night, but we certainly are able to bounce ideas and collaborate, and not just with him, but with all the other superintendents in the county. I would say we all have a good working relationship, and I appreciate that and appreciate their expertise as I get started in this position.
I think there's a lot of good educators and education going on in the local area. So as part of whatever part you are having in that, which is a big part, we thank you for that. And thanks for coming on this morning. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Good luck to the Quakers.
All right. Go Quakers.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye-bye.
That is Amy Wentworth, who is the superintendent of New Philly Schools, our guest this morning on the 8:30 High Beam here on the BT Morning Show.